Lego games were an absolute staple for me growing up. I have such fond memories of going to a friend's house after school and just spending hours on end playing Lego Star Wars and Lego Dimensions. We weren't very good at these games and never made much progress, but it didn't stop us from having fun. Now I was craving some nostalgia, so in this video I'm going to be playing 100% of Lego Star Wars The Complete Saga. In order to achieve 100% completion, I will need to finish all 36 levels, collect all regular mini-kits, collect all blue mini-kits, collect all red and gold bricks, reach true Jedi in every level by filling up the stud meter, complete all bonus levels, complete all super stories, unlock and purchase everything in the store, and complete all bounty hunter levels. Now I think it's safe to say that I'm in for a hard time. There's a lot of stuff I need to get through if I want to 100% this game, so I decided I was going to start off by playing through the main story as normal without focusing too much on achievements or collectibles. With that being said, let's jump into episode 1. My favourites in the whole game. The levels were varied and fun, and it was a great introduction to the game's mechanics. Just a few minutes into the episode, I also earned my first achievement for destroying 5 enemies with 1 attack. I continued to progress through the main story, and after a couple of hours I reached my first boss fight against Darth Maul. The boss fights are fairly straightforward, which is to be expected in a game designed for kids, so I was able to defeat him without much trouble, although we did lose a brother in the process. After defeating Darth Maul and finishing the level, I was able to earn my next achievement for completing episode 1 in story mode. Now episode 2 is where things start to go drastically downhill, and that is because in this episode I am introduced to the bane of my existence, otherwise known as vehicle levels. I had personal beef with these levels for so many reasons, the main one being that the controls were so outdated and horrible that I spent majority of my time just crashing into everything and dying, and I wish that that was an exaggeration. Vehicle levels aside, I did really enjoy the rest of episode 2 and was able to earn my next achievement for completing it in story mode. Episode 3 was by far my favourite in the whole game. Each level was unique and fun, and there wasn't a single one I didn't enjoy. On the second level of this episode, I got the Lightsaber Defender achievement for deflecting 200 shots from enemies. After a couple more great levels and a short boss fight against Anakin, episode 3 came to an end and we got the Revenge of the Sith achievement. By this point in the challenge, I was only halfway through the main story and was already starting to feel a little burnt out, so I decided to take a break from playing levels and try to get some random achievements instead. I was able to get Crowd Pleaser for breaking Jar Jar 20 times, Harmless for disabling 5 droidicas with R2-D2, Barroom Brawl for starting a cantina fight with 50 casualties, and Hands Off for destroying Anakin with Count Dooku. After this short break, I jumped straight back into episode 4 of story mode. I don't have too much to say about this episode as I feel it was mediocre compared to the rest of them. One of the most annoying levels in the whole game was chapter 5, as you were constantly being flooded with enemies, which really ruined the fun for me. I was, however, able to obtain the Stormtrooper Slayer trophy for killing 300 Stormtroopers, and after a crappy vehicle level, I got a New Hope for finishing episode 4 on story mode. Okay, only 2 more episodes to go before we have completed the story mode. Episode 5, much like episode 4, I personally felt was mediocre, so once again I don't have much to say about it, but we did complete it and get the trophy. This was a very long game, and after not finding much enjoyment in episode 4 or 5, I was starting to feel a little bored and burnt out. Luckily enough, episode 6 brought it all back and redeemed itself from the previous episodes. I enjoyed it from start to finish and even found the vehicle level to be tolerable. After roughly 25 hours, we had finally reached the end of the main story. Although we had finished story mode, this challenge was nowhere near over because we still had to get a bunch of collectibles and miscellaneous achievements. I couldn't even bear the thought of getting all the collectibles at that time, so I decided to catch up with some trophies instead. The next achievement I went for was called Online Player, and in order to get this trophy, you had to, funnily enough, play through an entire level online. I was slightly nervous that I would struggle to find someone to play with due to how old this game is, but to my surprise, I had no trouble at all finding people to join. The first guy I joined just kinda bullied me, but after joining a different person's game, we completed a level together and popped the achievement. The next bunch of achievements were super easy. All I had to do was kill certain characters with other specific characters, so I'll just do a little montage of those popping. Okay, I have put it off for long enough. It's time for collectibles. Now I got most of the collectibles off camera because it would have been truly boring to watch, but let me tell you, it was one of the most tedious and painful things I have ever done. There are 4 main types of collectibles in this game, but the worst by far are the mini-kits. There are 10 of these per level and 36 levels in the game, meaning I had a total of 360 mini-kits to collect. As if this wasn't already bad enough, I also had to collect all the blue mini-kits, which work differently, as in order to get all of these, I would have to find all 10 per level within a given time limit. This meant, technically, I had 720 mini-kits to collect. Yikes. Collecting all these mini-kits took me hours upon hours, and caused me to become super burnt out and sick of the game. However, I was not about to give up so far into the challenge, so I plugged on through and eventually earned the Mini Mayhem achievement for collecting all the mini-kits. Whilst replaying the levels, collecting all of the mini-kits, I also finished collecting the remainder of the red bricks, which allowed me to unlock power-ups in the store. This made the game a lot easier. I also earned the last of the gold bricks, which you basically just get for doing all there is to do in the game. This got me the Secret Master and Going for Gold achievements. After 15 hours of searching for collectibles, all that stood between me and the 100% was a few simple tasks and achievements. Collecting all the gold bricks allowed me to build the gold stud fountain in the hub area. Standing underneath this for a few minutes maxed out my stud counter and earned me the Gopher achievement. It's time to go back into my least favourite level of the game, Cloud City Trap, because I had to get an achievement for finishing the level with a Stormtrooper helmet on. Luckily for me, this achievement is super easy after unlocking free play, because all I had to do was enter the level, switch to a Stormtrooper, then quit back out again. Straight after unlocking this trophy, I jumped into another level to earn Use the Force Look for completing a section of the level without firing at enemies. To celebrate how well this challenge was going, I decided it was time to take a break and host a disco, which got me the Disco King trophy. One of the easier to miss trophies is Cash In, which you earn by selling your land speeder to the Jawas, and another annoying one is Dodger for dodging 200 attacks as a blaster character. Now shooting and dodging is the same button for this character, so I just loaded up a level with respawning enemies and spammed the shoot/dodge button until I eventually got it, but it did take a while. Arcade mode is a multiplayer 1v1 mode in LEGO Star Wars, and my last miscellaneous achievement was for earning 100 points in this mode. At first I was a little concerned about this one, as I didn't really have anyone to play with, but after going onto the True Achievements website looking for advice, I seen someone say that you can just use a second controller. And to make things even more simple, you can set one of the characters to R2-D2 and just self-destruct 100 times. So after loading into arcade mode as R2-D2 and spamming B for a few minutes, I earned Arcade Master. Now the only thing I have left to do in order to 100% this game is complete all the super stories. At this point I didn't know what these were, as I was trying to complete the game with as little help as possible, but when I found out, I'm not gonna lie, my heart sank a little bit. Super stories basically involve playing through each episode again without taking breaks between levels, and you also had to complete them within a certain time limit. So yeah, I basically had to play through the entire game yet again. The thought of this almost drove me to tears, but nonetheless I couldn't give up now, so I persevered, completing episode after episode until I had finished all the super stories and finally reached 100% completion. And that's when this happened. Yep, that's right, the achievement didn't pop. This sent me into a total panic, and I immediately went onto Google to see if anyone else had had this problem. To my relief, it was a common glitch, and all I had to do was complete a level start to finish in order for the trophy to pop. And just like that, after over 50 hours, I had 100%ed LEGO Star Wars The Complete Saga. Although parts of this experience were frustrating and repetitive, my overall opinion on the game was very positive. It was probably the best LEGO game I have ever played, and it made me feel really nostalgic and brought me back to simpler times. If you made it this far into the video, thank you very much, and feel free to leave me ideas on any other games you want to see me 100%. Thanks again, and I'll see you in the next one.